All right, here we are at class 2 exercise 3, class 2 exercise 3, and now we are going to actually write some code that uses SHA-256 and we're going to include some salt um, to make this message authentication code. In other words, to verify the integrity of the file or the text or the string that we put in there. As you can see, that whenever you get this string, you always get the same hash, or we're going to use that as a way to authenticate that the message has not been tampered with. All right, so they want us to open up to install this new math library for PHP. I think I can do this. Okay, yes. And, well, that wasn't very hard. Okay, and then we're going to restart service Apache to restart. Bingo. That's easy. So now we're going to make two files, the form file and the PHP file. So here's the form file. I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way here, just the way I like it. I could do it in VI too, but we're going to do it this way. Okay, so there's SHA-256. We're going to copy this content. Make sure to copy every single bracket here. I've seen some people forget that. Okay, save that file. And because we are here, we're just going to go down and make this other file as well and save it before we test it. Right. New file. Bingo. I don't know when this comes up, so ignore that. And copy the code below. Where's the book? All this code down here. Okie doke. Paste. Ooh, how beautiful. Look at that. So that's it. Okay. Save that. Save that. Let's close these other files. They're old here. They're confusing me. Okay, so we just have these two files. All right. So now the exercise says to go and actually try to do hashing with these two files. So we're going to go to this file. There we go. At the end of, you cannot see this, huh? Can you? Okay. Let's move my picture somewhere else out of the way here. Okay, there you go. So now you can see that here. We're going to paste it in the URL. Frank dog hash it. Ooh. What happened? Aha. Guess what happened? Localhost happened again. Okay, let's fix that. So if I go here, it wants to go to local. This is really bad practice. I'm sorry. But hate to complain, but okay. So there we go. Hash it. No, gotta refresh the page. Sorry. Frank and dog. Hash it. And there it is. So we ran it through the algorithm once. It created a salt. And here is the hash, the generated hash at the end of the day. Here's ran through it again. Boom, boom. Okay, let's look at the code briefly and see what it does. So it takes the input, which is the text. It creates some random number of bits. Then it encodes those bits into create a salt. The salt is like a slight modifier so that it's not just your text, but it's a little bit of added randomness into the string. So you're combining your string plus some random bits. Oh, look at that, it's happening right there. The input plus the random bits, which have been base 64 encoded. So base 64 is not actually it's not technically encryption mechanism, but it's a way to encode 4 bytes into 4 bits into 5 bits or something like that, to encode it into a slightly bigger number of bits so that you could use 64 characters. And so whatever binary file you have, any binary file can be converted into a text file, so you can easily transmit it back and forth. Your email client does this when you send a file from point A to point B, all the binary data attachments get base 64 encoded before they get sent out. So this is a pretty common mechanism to take 4 bits of data and represent it by 5 bits of a text or a character or something to that effect. Anyways, and then we create hash 1 and hash 2. So we're doing this twice, and we're basically showing that if we do it once or twice, we're still getting the exact same, we're getting the same thing no matter how many times we run it through. So that is the end of exercise number 1. We've reviewed the logic, and the output should be the same. All right, that's the end of exercise 3. All right, hang on, we're on to exercise number 4.